Texas Live.
Across from AT&T
Your voice
Stadium.
matters.
Oh, man. Gotta work with it.
Boss Cowboy
Let's go,
Sports.
man. Game day.
Live at Texas Live.
What's up with it?
Where your voice matters.
Texas
Yeah.
Live.
Texas.
OC. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Man,
Get in here.
get in here.
Your voice matters.
Don't forget to turn on your bell notification icon so you get the latest and greatest in sports and news.
Yeah. The latest and the greatest.
Live at Texas Live.
Across from AT&T Stadium.
14 cents. Yeah, man.
Boss Cowboy Sports,
Live at Texas Live.
Let's get
where
into it.
your voice matters.
Across from AT&T Stadium.
So we got
Your voice matters.
The OC. Boss Cowboy Sports.
So we got the OC.
Here we go. We live, Texas Live, Boss Cowboy Sports, Boss Cowboy and OC. Let's get right into the show. This is the first game eve. Dallas Cowboys versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The good, the bad, and hopefully no ugly. Boss Cowboy, talk to the people.
Man, what's up, man? I'm excited for game day. Like you promised that you was going to enlighten us, my brother. You said you was going to enlighten us, so go ahead and kick it off. You said you had something to say. We want to hear it.
Well, you know, this could take 45 minutes, Boss Cowboy, so I'm going to drip out 1 point at a time.
Okay.
All right? So where do you want to start? You want to start the offense or the defense keys to victory?
Well, I want to hear your offensive keys to victory first. That's what I want to hear.
All right. So here we go. First things first. Offensive keys to victory. Number one, extremely physical off the football from the offensive line. Use 21 personnel, and if you don't know what 21 is, it's 2 tight ends, 1 running back. We want to double team the pass rushing defensive ends of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We want to pound them. We want to make life difficult on them, especially the first 2 to 3 quarters of the game. We want to take their legs from underneath them, and we want to get as physical as we can with the 2 athletic linebackers, which are really world-class linebackers for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we want to run isolation plays. We want to run an inside zone, outside zone, and we want to get shots on those guys, even if it's backs, from wide receivers, tight ends, linemen, guards, because we soften them up for the headshots later. The number 2 thing we want to do, we want to keep Dak Prescott clean in the pocket, which means that Kellen Moore has to call an excellent game. He has to incorporate the short pass game. We cannot let those defensive ends and the pass rush get off early in the game. We got to neutralize that. Number 3, we got to include Ezekiel Elliott and get him going early in the game. And a lot of people think that I mean just pound the football. I don't mean pound the football. I mean run our pass. We can create mismatches in the flats, flares, swing passes, and even using Ezekiel Elliott in intermediate routes.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in because, you know, I've definitely been on the campaign of run the damn ball. But you just hit on something that I absolutely agree with is, are we going to see the Dallas Cowboys actually use Zeke in the passing game? See,
Yeah.
because people act like OC that Zeke can only run the ball.
Yeah.
Can you expound on that, please?
Yeah, that's absolutely not true. I mean, Zeke has some of the best set of hands in the league from the running back position. He can be used in the slot. He can be used in the screen game. He can be used one-on-one versus linebackers down the seams, which is a mismatch. And so Ezekiel Elliott, however you get him involved, because here's the thing, and here's what people need to understand in my opinion. Okay, Dak Prescott is the leader of this team, but Ezekiel Elliott is the catalyst. He's the tone setter. When Ezekiel Elliott gets yardage, makes plays, and he gets up with the feed me spoon in his mouth, man, he inspires the rest of the team. So we need that early and often beginning in this game. And so Ezekiel Elliott, whether he's a running back or whether he's used out of the backfield, needs to be incorporated in the game. And so this is my take on this thing. I think initially you're going to have an 8-man front, 8 to 9-man front, right? It's going to be a dare throw the ball situation, which is ideal to check out into one-on-one matchups by Kellen Moore. But however, most teams come into the game with the Dallas Cowboys with a commitment to stop the run. And I don't think that this game will be any different. So if you think about it, how we neutralize this and how we take advantage of this whole scenario in this situation is that, and I just mentioned this before, outside zone stretch plays, make those guys run, combo up, double team up to the linebackers, get Zeke going earlier. B, we can use the jet sweep with CeeDee Lamb. We can get him involved early. And then C, take advantage of the mismatches that you will have against average corners. These guys are not all-star cornerbacks. So take advantage of the mismatches and get guys one-on-one in space. They have great safeties, but they don't have great corners, which means that you can take advantage of the underneath routes versus this team, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I think offensively we good. My thing is also who guys that gotta step up on defense. Because the first person that I think about, to be all the way honest, is Jordan Lewis.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Lewis has some big shoes.
Explain.
Huge. All right. Antonio Brown, they've been talking about his knee, but I smoke screen.
Yep.
And it's not a good thing when the number 1 receiver is now the number 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things that I was thinking just today. Antonio Brown at his best had a 71% catch rate when targeted.
Yeah.
That's the highest all time.
Yeah. He's a machine, man.
So, to me, if Jordan Lewis can hold him, especially in the red zone, to 50%, that's a win. So it's one of those things to where I want to have real expectations.
Right.
Because I also believe that Antonio Brown is going to be Brady's outlet, especially if we start getting pressure.
Right.
He go quickly go to the slot.
Right.
Obviously, we need also Brown, our Brown, to step up. That's who we need to step up.
Yeah.
And if he don't step up, I mean, they gonna be able to get easy conversions on us. So those are the top 2 people tomorrow. It's gonna be in the secondary to me. Most people say start with the front. I need those 2 guys to play that day above themselves. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, you just said a mouthful there, Boss Cowboy, and so it's a lot of ground to cover with that one point that you made. I mean, here's the thing. Everything is tied to the front 7 because those guys cannot cover all day, okay? They got an all-world cast of receivers and, several future Hall of Famers basically playing, right? So what's the scenario in which that we would have the optimal ideal for success? And I said this last night, but I'm going to expound on this. Pressure. Pressure in Brady's face. But number 2, confusion. And I don't mean confuse Tom Brady because at this point in his career, that's going to be extremely hard to do. He's seen every possible front.
Right.
But I want to try to confuse that offensive line to create some favorable one-on-one matchups, and I want to make Brady throw hot. I don't want to let Brady throw the ball when he wants to throw the ball. I want to create scenarios and situations, and this is where Dan Quinn comes in. This is where the hybrid between the 3-4 and the 4-3 must be very effective coming out game number 1 because you're going to have to give different looks. You're going to have to make the flats the hot, or you're going to have to make a quick underneath route the hot route. So you got to make Tom Brady, and you got to dictate who's going to be open. So you got to have a bend but not break philosophy playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Listen, the Buccaneers are going to make some plays. These guys are going to make some catches at some point in the game. But the mentality has to be that we're here to play this thing out for 4 quarters. And in my opinion, I really want to take away the over-the-top routes. I'm fine with Antonio Brown making some plays underneath because he's that good. He's elite. He's going to make some plays. C.J. Godwin is going to make some plays underneath, right? But I don't want you blowing the top off the defense. That's what I don't want. And if I can keep you from blowing the top of the defense and I can make the field short, even if you get into the plus 20 and you got to make tighter throws, you got to make accurate throws, precise throws, because you don't have the whole field. I'm going to take that bet and I'm going to live with it.
Right.
But more importantly, Boss Cowboy, here's the tempo setter that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like to do. They like to set up the pass with the run. If you look at them the second half of the season, they lined up in 21 personnel. They would even line up in 31 personnel, Boss Cowboy, and they would power run that football. All right? And they will use Leonard Fournette as a hammer, and he's played some of the best football of his career going into the playoffs at the end of the season. So that's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about, can the Cowboys tackle? Because if we can tackle, then we can neutralize the 20 and the 25-yard runs. And if we do that and we get them in third and long situations, then we can dictate a little bit better hot routes. And him throwing the ball, that is Tom Brady, sooner than he wants to throw the football. And so that's what I think, Boss Cowboy. What you got on that?
Well, before I talk about that, I want to kind of showcase we are at Texas Live, and we have committed to showcasing Dallas. Not just, obviously, the Dallas Cowboys. It's a lot to Dallas other than what's shown on television.
Absolutely.
So we sitting right across from AT&T Stadium, obviously, and this is our home. But most people don't know the beautiful facilities that's just frequent in our neighborhood. So the next time, obviously, y'all come out, we gonna be throwing a lot. We doing a test stream. We want to make sure that it's streamed. But if it is, we go do this a whole lot more, and we go fix the little bugs that might be happening. And then real quick, I also want to talk to Anthony real quick and just talk about the game and get your general thoughts, and then I'm going to come back to what you was asking me, OC. Real quick, what you got, Ant?
Hey, what's up, fellas, man? Thank y'all for having me back. Real excited about the game tomorrow. There's 2 players that are on my mind very, very strong about tomorrow, to high five what OC is saying about pressure, and that's going to be Randy Gregory, who's coming off a full off season of work, coming off that edge, and then secondly, number 11. I hate to put him out there so quick, but I think we need him to be special. And like OC said, stopping the run, getting them in third and long situations can allow us to unleash our dogs. Of course, we depending on D-Law. That goes without saying. But I want to see Brady have to improvise, and I think that's what they're smelling. I think if they can get him to have to react to what we're doing, I think that bodes well for us. But I did see that at the end of the season with Fournette, and I'm just hoping that our defense steps up and stops the run first off and get Brady in passing situations where we can unleash those animals, man.
And real quick, I want to kind of switch the subject. I promise I'm going to come back to what you talked about, OC.
Take your time.
But this is on my mind. So, Anthony Terrell and the OC are both coaches. Anthony is actually a state-winning coach in the state of Texas. So whenever I have the privilege to talk to coaches, I like to get the perspective, especially when we saw Hard Knocks today. Because Hard Knocks was interesting. It's a lot of people that got opinions on the because he really went out his way to Danucci. He went out his way. I want to get your thoughts on that. On just what your thoughts on how he handled that Danucci situation.
Well, it's a lot of aspects that I could talk about, and I'm gonna give it to Anthony on this first because Anthony got his mic hot. He ready to go.
Man, he ready to go.
I'm over here itching, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know.
Anthony.
Did that bother you or something?
I'm
Because you
being
look like
courteous.
you're
I'm
I'm being
itching.
courteous. I'm gonna let you go first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love the Dallas Cowboys. We grew up watching Drew Pearson, Tony Dorsett, and everything. So it's dear to my heart. And when I see issues, and it's hard for me to explain this, and it's gonna take a little bit of time, but I hope y'all can follow me.
Take your time.
You have to have a certain culture when you're talking about a championship team, and we don't need to have any favoritism or basically no-brainer decisions have to be normal. And what I saw on Hard Knocks was McCarthy dominating that meeting, trying to make sure DiNucci stayed on the team, and that sends a message to the rest of the team because we're not sold out on the best man plays. That affects people. That's a certain culture. Those are politics. You know what I mean? And as a dog mentality type of player or coach, that bothers your team, and that one move can send reverberating effects through the mentality of your team. I'm concerned about that. I don't like that McCarthy did that because it was obvious he wasn't letting common sense dominate that decision.
See, because I'm going to try to play devil's advocate. Even though I feel you 100%.
Yes, sir.
I'm still going to try to play devil's advocate.
I'm gonna play it real hard. So go ahead.
Oh, man. Listen. All right. So.
What, DiNucci?
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Yeah, okay.
Now, I said I'm going to try. Now, he made a case. The case was you don't give up on players. That was the case. And I know we give up on players a lot quickly. And if that's your only case, you don't have I'm trying to make a case. I don't think I can. I'm trying. But it's one of those things. Could you, Anthony, I'm going to turn it right back to you. Talk about your experiences as a coach, coaching, I would say, the morale.
Cowboy, if you have to make a case, that's already signs that it's a problem. When you bring men into a room to make a decision of what's best for a team, it's common sense. If we can get around the politics and get around the personal feelings and get around the favoritism, it shouldn't be hard. And if you watch Hard Knocks, when Coach made that case, there was an awkward silence for about 2 or 3 seconds. And what was going on in those guys' minds? It wasn't good. It was like, if we pause for 3 seconds in this show, after
It's
a
a problem.
comment, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And everybody in the world knows this, y'all.
Yeah.
But we'll go with it because he's the head coach. And I'm saying it's cool. We can have DiNucci on the practice squad, but it's the message that goes throughout the team when things like that happen. So I want to hear another case, and maybe y'all can change my mind. I don't know.
Well, listen, here's the deal about this. We, at times on this show, talk ideals. But and the professional status quo of any organization is always an element of friendships and kinships. And for you to ignore that, or for any of us to ignore that, is not wise. Every coach, every manager, every GM, every higher-up has a favorite somewhere. And this favorite will be given 9 lives, or at least 2 or 3, and given enough rope to hang themselves. And so this is the case with Ben DiNucci and Mike McCarthy. There is a relationship, there is a betting on, there is a belief, and this is how the world it runs and how it's organized. And so even if people, as an example, Anthony, as an example, Boss Cowboy, on your team, that you guys have run teams and you've hired somebody and you work with somebody and they haven't performed well off the cuff, because you believe that you see something, you're given second and third and fourth and fifth chances for this person. It's natural human element. So the dog aspect is fine. The best man up aspect is all fine. That's all right. The Cowboys should have went out there and actually freaking got Minshew. If they were smart, they should have got Minshew from the Jags, just like the Eagles, our rivals, did.
I agree.
I'm almost done. I'm not going hard.
Oh, don't you have to go hard on me? Can I just add one more thing just to add to what you said?
Go ahead.
He said, McCarthy said, you're not going to find another free agent with the skill set of Danucci. Go ahead.
Stupid McNuke.
Hold on.
So, to my point about that,
Oh,
Minshew.
What did it worth to cut you off? What it was worth it. Go ahead.
Minshew. Okay? Minshew got picked up by the Eagles after starting many games for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, that's a good quarterback that's 25 years old and younger. Minshew got game.
Yes.
What a great pickup by our division rivals, the Eagles, to have an insurance policy if Jalen Hurts trips. They have an automatic guy that can come in and start. The Cowboys should be wiser, in my opinion, in terms of their personnel coaches. But we are committed to the Saver Plan technique. And so because we're committed to the Saver Plan technique, we're going to give 15 lives to 7th round or undrafted free agent guys. Okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to give all of that and then some to marginal guys that really almost shouldn't be in the league. Now, personally, I have Ben DiNucci because I like the way Ben DiNucci tried to make plays during the preseason. I respect his moxie. I respect him trying to make plays. But is he there? Could we do better? Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox temporarily, but that's my thought, man, about that thing.
Man, so, I mean, what a day. Like, to be all the way honest, what a day to kind of just, the game is Thursday, and we see the culture of the Dallas Cowboys intimately through Hard Knocks on Tuesday. Well, I saw it Wednesday morning. But, it left a bad taste in my mouth. So I want to say this, and I want to get y'all thoughts on this. I do still say that we have a chance because obviously that deflates some of my hope when I see alleged favoritism. But I also know that some teams are player-led when it comes to winning Super Bowls. So I want to get y'all thoughts on that, like Dak and Zeke, because one thing that I definitely loved, I'm talking about loved, man, I loved Zeke when he was breaking down the X's and O's. He really, because I was watching his dad on West Coast show the other day where he did an interview, and he said something that shocked me. He said Zeke had one of the highest Wonderling scores, which is the test coming out before you get drafted in NFL history. And you could see that on his Hard Knocks. Man, Zeke was breaking down the game.
Wow.
And then Zeke has also been, in the quarterback room. He's been in the lineman room. He's been a true cerebral sponge to improve. So I do still think it's hope, even though we saw what seems to be, to me, to you, Anthony, to you, OC, as clear politics. I want to get y'all thoughts on that.
Yeah, so, here's the deal about that situation, man. Ezekiel is excellent as a player in multiple fronts and all that he does, right? And the player-led team, that's exactly right. That's what this is going to have to be, because we don't have, in my opinion, the top-end leadership and dominant trait personalities to push a team over the edge. It has to be the young guys coming in, unfortunately playing well at a very, very young clip. Some of these rookies, man, they got to play great. They got to play great, man. They got, for the Cowboys, these guys got to play great. Dak Prescott just has to stay on the field. And has to be smart about the risks and the choices he makes. He got to learn how to take a sack. Take a sack sometimes. So this is the whole deal. This guy. The team. Am I on? Okay, good. If Dak Prescott can rally the troops, and Ezekiel can inspire, and D-Law can make some plays, and Micah Parsons can make some plays, and Kelvin Joseph can make a couple plays, then combined, what happens is that we have a synergy. That's the word of the day. Synergy. Synergy. We have a collective energy that can push us over the edge.
Real quick, as we go ahead, Ant.
Boss Cowboy, I wanted to infuse some more hope into you.
Okay. I need it.
What I saw that I was really encouraged by is one, Dak Prescott, and this is the scenario that I watched when he put the key in the back of Trayvon Diggs, and Cooper destroyed him, for a little bit, but that's cool. I don't care. Diggs showed that he was a competitor, right? He showed it. He went after Cooper, and I would have hugged his neck, encouraged him. I don't care whatever happened. And then he came right back. Did y'all see that? He came right back.
I saw it.
And he won his reps, y'all. And he went right back to Dak Prescott and challenged them on that on the next show. So, and you saw that synergy. Did you see Michael Parsons?
I did.
Michael Parsons said, man, he made you look bad on that first, putting the key in his back. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm with y'all on them stirring the pot and he coming from the player level, because one consensus is that we've kind of turned our back on the coach. But the players are starting to build that synergy of what we need within the team of competitiveness and that dog. I keep saying it over and over because lastly, y'all, I watched an old film of a game. And it was the Dallas Cowboys against the New York Giants that a lot of people don't think about. That's the first team we had to get out of the way. And
say that again.
It was the Emmitt Smith
because
first show
I
of the
see
game.
what you're saying with that. So let me expound what he's saying on that, and then I'm gonna want you to take that back over. So Tampa Bay got the experience on paper.
Yes.
On paper, they much better experience-wise. What I'm hearing you say, Coach Anthony, is you getting that feeling just like Aikman and Emmett needed to take out the Giants on their way. We are the young Bulls and the young Hogs that get a chance to take out the old man. Am I hearing you right, sir?
Yes. That's why I referenced the quote of Odighizuwa.
Ooh.
Odighizuwa's quote, and
I think
also
you butchered his
Michael
name,
Parsons.
but that's okay.
Can y'all help me, please?
I just say Osa.
Osa. Sorry, sir, if you see this.
That's
but
okay.
man, I love you.
Yeah, we do.
I love you. I love Michael Parsons. They smell blood. Young guys smell blood, y'all. And that's what we need. Diggs, come on now. Dude, he went after Cooper. Went after Dak. Come on now, that's what we need.
That's what we need.
Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing. I think that at the end of the day, these guys have to bring the mentality. Yes. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about mentality. If you don't understand what dog is, it's just mentality. Right? It's the mentality that we don't quit, the mentality that we fight, which leads me into the other point in terms of keys to the victory is that the Cowboys have to be ready to play for 4 quarters. They have to have the mentality from start to finish to play this game. See, at times, unfortunately, the Cowboys have had mental lapses, right? They've had mental lapses. And so they've kind of taken quarters off or taken series off, things like that. Well, in this game versus this caliber of team with the experience they have, you cannot take off plays or series, because when you do, and if you fall asleep, these guys will go score or they're going to make a huge play. And that's the thing that we got to guard against. That's the thing that we got to be really mindful of. So to me, this is a really good battery test of everything that's happened in the offseason. The coaches changing, Kellen Moore calling the offense, bringing in Dan Quinn, the whole 9 yards, right? This is a real good smell test. This is not the end-all, be-all, right? Because we got a long season, but it's a great smell test for where we are right now.
And real quick, I still want to kind of acknowledge that we sitting across the day before the fight from our stadium, our Coliseum, where our gladiators get down. Ooh, I'm so happy the season is here. Sick of talking about preparation, man. I want us to, now we finally talking about how we getting ready to win. Can we kind of turn to how do we?
Well, I'm glad you asked me, Boss Cowboy. So, if you want to talk about how we win, right? If I just summarize this whole thing, and I'll just summarize it really quickly into 3 quick points, all right? And we can dissect these points and chop it up however you want. Number 1, physicality. Number 2, decision making. And number 3, blocking and tackling. That's it. Simple. How physical will you be against a veteran team? Because here's the thing that oftentimes hurts Super Bowl winning teams is that they played a long season. They played longer than anybody else. And so a lot of times these Super Bowl winning teams, they don't come out sharp. So maybe you got a game or two to catch Tampa Bay where they're not quite as sharp and physically in tune because they pumped the brakes on a lot of these guys in training camp. So these guys haven't had as many hits and as contact as reps because they're a veteran team. So maybe you take advantage of that. Number 2, decision making. I think that Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore have to call fantastic games. Kellen Moore has to be very, very precise in terms of his scenarios and attacking key matchups and when to do what in this football game. It's going to be a chess match between him and the defensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I want to see who's the smarter man. I want to see who really turns up. Also, Dan Quinn, right, against the offensive coordinator and Bruce Arians dealing with this great offense, right? It's a chess match. When does Dan Quinn go to the 3-4? Does he show it in 3rd and long? Does he show it in 2nd and medium? How long does he stay in the 4-3? When does he blitz Michael Parsons in the A-gap? When does he put him the strong linebacker in the 4-3 under and blitz him off the edge? When does he use stunt games on the inside to create one-on-one matchups with the guards, who are not the greatest guards, but those guys are tough and they're good football players? So this thing is a chess match, right? And then the last point is just simple blocking and tackling. Can we sustain blocks? Can we get their running backs and receivers on the ground in the open field? And can we get Fournette in particular? That's who I'm worried about. Can we get this guy down and not miss tackles? And if we can do that, we have a great chance to win. Boss Cowboy?
Yeah, I tell you what, like the keys that I would say, OC, when I think out loud, is obviously we talked about this yesterday, so I'm not going to expound on it because you killed it yesterday expounding on it. I think we should definitely come out and play.
Yep.
I think that's exactly what we need to do and really help our tackles and help Dak. That's number 1.
Yep.
Number 2, when we throw, we got to go at 2 guys as primary targets.
Okay.
Number 1, CeeDee Lamb.
Yep. Why? Explain why. Because I think I know why. Explain why.
The matchup. I ain't going to talk like it's calculus.
But it's another good reason, too. Another huge
Add
reason.
to it.
Run after catch.
Oh, yeah.
Run after catch ability.
He's ready.
Because he's a guy that can break tackles. And if he gets loose and gets a good angle on any of these good safeties, he's going to take it to the house.
Yeah, I think when I look at Tampa Bay, their weakness is their nickel.
Yep.
And you have Lamb super emerging, right? So, and it also fits what Jerry wants. Let's just be honest, right? Jerry wants that 88 to turn up, man.
Yep.
So, this is an ideal game for 88. I know people saw me with the run the damn ball. That don't mean that's all we gonna do.
Right.
When you throw, I want you to throw it smart, and I want you to throw it to who's likely go get open, and that's gonna be Mr. CeeDee Lamb.
Yes, sir.
Second, Cooper. No doubt.
Yes, sir.
Cooper. No doubt. So, see, even though I'm saying I want us to play a majority of the game in 12, I want us to play the game in terms of keys to victory, similar to like when the Seahawks beat us. They kept the ball on the ground, but if you really study Russell Wilson and on deep balls, the average deep ball by quarterbacks is only 1.8 throws a game. But if you look at Russell Wilson, he's 4. He's double the average. So if you watched when they played us, they kept the ball on the ground, but when they went vertical, they struck. So I want them to do that with Dak. I want them to commit to the vertical throw at least 4 times, double the average. You know, you've been working with these guys in the offseason because you can change the momentum. You can do a lot of things with that vertical throw and stop those cannons. We can make it our house if we do that.
Yep.
Another thing, this gonna sound crazy, bro, but I'm gonna say it and I believe it.
All right.
I think we got to do the New England model. What New England does on defense is they try to take away your best target with their best defender. So what did they do when they played us and we had Terrence Williams, even though he's obviously not a solid number 1?
Right.
They put Butler on him. I think it's time to take the training wheels off Diggs. He your best corner. Single him up on Mike Evans. Mike Evans.
Yep.
Single him up.
Yeah.
All game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go forward.
Yeah.
You the man. You the second rounder with first round talent. Let's see you work.
See it. It's time.
It's time. Number 2.
Yep.
Number 2, bracket and help Lewis, bruh, with Antonio Brown. Do not leave him all game one-on-one with the former best receiver in the league. That is dumb. You got to bracket that dude. I would rather put Diggs on Mike, right, and try to limit it, Mike, and bracket Antonio Brown, especially in the red zone. And then number 3, we got to get pushing that middle. I'm watching really, truly Osa. That's the guy that I'm watching more than anybody because I'm a believer in him from preseason. I've honestly never seen anything like this. I'm being all the way honest. His preseason looked like a year 3 guy in year 1. If he can come out and sustain what he showed in preseason, we got more than a steal. Like, more than a steal. If we can get pushing that middle and truly get Brady off that dime, we go give us some problems because then that's going to let our edges go. And finally, let Micah Parsons get loose. Send him. I listened to the show again, and I didn't hear it because I was producing. But, man, y'all listen to the OC. Send Micah Parsons through that A and B gap. I heard you, OC. Sir, yes, yeah. Indeed. Yeah. Send him early and often in the middle. What you got, Anthony?
I have one key point that I posted in Cowboys Nation today. I'm going to read it. And it says, this is from my research today. I wish I could reference this guy. But he posted. Well, I read an article. And he said, talking about Brady, his completion percentage is 71.7% when he wasn't under pressure in the regular season. But it dropped to 43.8 when pressured. That's 71 to 43.
Got to go. Got to get it.
Back, OC on the back. Mm-hmm. According to Football Focus, he averaged 3.1 fewer yards when under pressure. When he was in a clean pocket, which was the 7th largest drop in the league last year. He was one of only 4 quarterbacks to see his QB rating decline by more than 60 points when under pressure. That's my only key to the game, is putting pressure on Brady early and often. And to do that, we got to stop the run, though.
Yes, sir.
Facts.
So everything ties together. You got to tackle. And that's why one of my huge points is that, man, we got to tackle. We cannot miss tackles. Because if we don't put Brady in a situation to where he's in 3rd and long or 2nd and long, and he's on 3rd and short, he's checking out, he's checking down to Gronkowski. He's throwing quick hitches or 3 routes to Antonio Brown. Or don't forget about C.J. Godwin, who is one of the most underrated receivers in the NFL. He's a monster. All right, that dude is a yard yak after catch possession receiver extraordinaire. You could just ride him up and down the field, and he run nasty routes. So how you limit this is by getting them in some 3rd and long situations and by putting pressure on Brady and rolling coverage, bracket coverage like Boss Cowboy said, and dictating who he's going to throw the ball to. That's how you deal with this, man, because you ain't going to cover these guys forever. You ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do it. So you got to be good in the run game, and you got to have bracket coverage and have some predictable scenarios that you can kind of control where that ball is going. And that's how you at least control or limit, I'll say damage control. Damage control some of the things offensively that they can do.
Real quick, again, we sitting here at Texas Live, and usually we take pride in taking the chats from the feed that's coming in from Facebook and YouTube. Obviously, we're not doing that because we want to be smart on how we test the stream. But eventually, we going to have all systems on go. And then we obviously want to hear from y'all how y'all liking us out at different locations, because we're going to be doing that more and more. So put a comment in there, say where you from, and then say if you like what you see. And you can even put on there some that you wish we could improve. We even listen to that as well. We go ahead and end this like we ended last night.
Yep.
Final words. Final words. The Cowboys can win this game, and we are very good when we're the underdogs. It's really depends on how angry we are. That's what, if we come angry, we can beat the snot out these boys. But if we come out complacent and starstruck with Brady, they go run us out of Tampa. So I'm not prediction, but I'm gonna say this: if we play Cowboy football, and especially if we get turnovers, we go beat them. But if we come in there and we play soft, and to be honest, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, y'all know I drink measured Kool-Aid. I was not impressed with the first team run defense in preseason. I was not. Some people like cool with Watkins. I'm not a believer in Watkins.
I wasn't day one. I'm going to go on record and say it again. I wasn't day one. Why did y'all pick up that guy? I understand Brett Urban. I'm sorry. I'm not a hater. I'm saying I call it like I see it. That guy was a rotational defensive tackle for the Texans. That guy was okay and mediocre at best.
Mediocre at best.
I don't see the value there.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Sorry, bro. I don't see the value there.
And
no offense.
And we gonna need him tomorrow, bro.
Yep.
He
got to step up.
One good thing about him from his film, we both watched his film together.
Yep, we did.
He is at least good at holding at the point.
That's what he does.
That's it.
That's what he does.
That might be all we need to get our linebackers to play free.
Yeah.
But we gotta at least get that out of you. If we don't get that out of him, bro.
Yeah.
So keep y'all eyes, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Keep y'all eyes on that middle, and keep your eyes on if those guards are getting to the second and third level. If you seeing that, we in for a long year. Not even a long game, a long year. That's my final words. What's yours, OC?
No, I'm gonna let Anthony go first. Let Anthony go first.
Let me let Anthony
Okay,
go.
yeah, I just want to see that.
I'm sorry, real
Okay.
quick. And after you give your final words, we want to talk about your group.
Yeah, I just want to talk about that champions effort, that heart, that my mind is going to that. Remember that year we played the Saints, and nobody thought we had a chance. Cowboys
Right.
Stadium.
Exactly.
And we poured out an effort. Jalen Smith was on the team. LVE was on the team.
Smashing.
Jordan Lewis was on the team.
Going
And I
hard.
think that was a Sunday night game, and
Man.
nobody thought we had a chance.
Nobody.
And they came out and showed that heart, and it
Yup.
put the key in the back of Michael Irvin. They got all those camera shots of him channeling his old 88 on the sideline.
Man.
I want to see that effort come back to the
If
table.
we see that, ooh.
I want to see them go after them like never before. You schedule easy wins on homecomings. You schedule teams that you know you can dominate when it's the night to get your ring and for your crowd to celebrate. And the last time I checked, we ain't never been that. We've never been a doormat for any team in the NFL. And so it's time. I would be pissed off, y'all. Once I saw this on the schedule, oh, y'all think y'all gonna celebrate y'all championship at our expense? That's enough. That's enough. So I want to see that same effort they put in against the Saints that year. Make a point, man. If we win this game, man, our respect is coming our way for I don't know how long. So I just want to shut some mouths. I posted about Skip Bayless today in his comment. You know, so no, you know, it's not a lot of people believing in our team, but I do, and I see enough that we can get it done.
And yeah, real quick, Cowboy Nation is official partner of the Boss Cowboy Sports. You're going to be seeing a lot of exclusive content that we're going to be keeping exclusively to that group. That's now official partner together. It's a group with 21,000, so y'all get ready for that as well. And the final word is with you, OC. What you got?
So listen, guys, it's 3 things that we need to do. And I said this before. Number 1, physical. Number 2, finish. Finish plays, finish tackles. Don't be lazy in coverage. Make the plays you're supposed to make. And then number 3, be smart. And so if we can keep our wits about us all 4 quarters and bring the consistent effort and have the mindset to finish, then that gives us a great opportunity to win this game. I'm excited to see it, excited to see what happens. And like I say, this is a real good measuring stick for everything that's been going on the last 6 months, you know, at the Dallas Cowboys facility and all the changes and draft picks. So I'm excited to see what we do, man. But we got all the chances in the world to win this game. We just got to show up and bring it. That's my final word.
Right on. And y'all, we still going to be doing something tomorrow for the game at Boss Cowboy Sports. And then definitely tell y'all how y'all liking the view of Texas Live. We will be doing this and a lot more. Should we tell them about next week? Did we lock that down yet?
Not yet. We'll tell them. We'll try to tell them tomorrow night.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, you got to watch the show, man. We got another announcement. But listen, we want to know in the chat, too. You know, when you guys come out, man, we want to see you. I want to hug your neck. I want to high five you.
It's
I want
that
to grab
time.
you know? I mean, so put in the
It's
chat.
kind of lonely doing this.
Exactly.
We need the people,
we
man.
want some support.
It's the season.
Exactly. So
we can give them the mic.
Exactly. We'll give you the mic. I'll put you in the show. You sit right next to me and talk ball.
What's up?
So if you down to come out, put that in the chat, all right? We want to hear from you. Put it in the chat. We do some stuff around the city. If you down to come out, then we want to know that for sure. That's one thing I want to know for sure. Please put that in the chat.
Right on. Hey, but we out, man. Much love to everybody, man. We thank y'all. Y'all already know here at Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter. It's going to always matter. And here we go. Let's kick it off.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.